I'm going to use this geometric square to set up a border. Now I have a quilt that's kind of complicated. There's two areas that has to be quilted specialty. It has a 5-inch border all the way around. I have this geometric square set at 88 by 88. That's the size of the quilt. So first thing I'm going to do is use repeat patterns. Then it says okay to place this on the screen. Now I want to make sure that my point here, set point location. So it's upper left corner, that's where I want it to be. I click OK here and it puts that on the screen. I can just simply click OK there. I can select this and convert it to a boundary. Convert pattern to a boundary, because that's what I want. Now, since I'm going to put a pattern in there, so what I'm going to do to make it simple for me for this demo on this video, I'm going to go and get the border pattern. I did a lot of work in CS6 yesterday, and I made this pattern so that I could show the entire border with the pattern in it. I have this pattern selected, click on repeat patterns, click OK. It says click a point using the head or mouse. So I'll click that and it's going to put this pattern. Now it's inside the boundary where I want it to be. So to make it easy for me to locate the next boundary point, I'm going to just simply move the machine so that the needle is inside of this border pattern area. And about like that should do. And this since it's 5-inch border, so I'll have to subtract 5 inches here and 5 inches there, subtract a total of 10 inches from this geometric square. I'll right click on it, I'll view the properties. Aspect ratio is off, but I want to turn it on. So now I subtract 10 inches. So now it's going to be 78 by 78. So I'll put in 78. I'll put in 78 here. And when I click up there, it should go to 78. I'll save it and close it. Then I'm going to click on repeat patterns and click OK. Now I have my pattern, so I'll convert this one to a boundary. Oh, I got to click OK over here. All right, now it's going to let me do this. So I'll convert it to a boundary. Now I have my boundary in there. So I'll go back up to this upper corner and I'm going to put this pattern in there again. So I'll find my pattern, that one right there, select it, repeat patterns, click OK, click OK. Now the pattern is in there. This gives me an idea of how this is going to quilt out when I get ready to do this border. Now I had to manipulate a pattern to make this fit so it goes around and it's going to stitch out the way I want it to. So I'm going to briefly show you how I did all of this. I started out with a pattern, this pattern, and I took the this is a complete pattern. It stitches left to right, right to left. Okay, so I got the nodes and I did some dividing and got it to where I only had one row. So here's my one row that I had. After I took the two lines and did some dividing, I came out with one line, and I also deleted some of the repeats in that. And I wanted to get down to the point that I could select this and use divide, get my nodes and use divide, because I know where the end of the repeat is. It's right at that point right there. So I hit the D key to divide it. Now I have only one repeat. So I saved that one repeat. And I started to see how I could manipulate all of this. We're using one repeat so that I could make a corner pattern out of this. And it took me a while to do this, and I'm working in CS6 when I'm doing all of that, because I want this to be a CSQ pattern that I can take and use in CS6, or I can use in CS7. Well, here is a corner. Now this says a long TW swirl leaf border corner left. So I made a left border corner, and then I manipulated this around and I made a right border corner. So now I have my left and right corner. Then I simply made this top. I added a repeat here to this, and I made a top. Well, actually, I did not add the repeat yet. I took this entire corner pattern. Okay, I need to switch all of this. Did I do both of them? Okay, hang on. Yeah, they're both borders. Okay, so what I did was I took this left corner and right corner and put them in place, and then I used the measure Alt-M, and I went from the end of this corner pattern, okay, and to the beginning of this corner pattern, and I did a measure and I put the repeats in there. Then I took this entire top part and I flipped it and I put it in the bottom. Then I filled in the sides, and you'll see as I go along how I can do all of this. So sometimes you have to work with what you have to make a pattern for what you want to do. So it took me a while to work all of this out. I did this yesterday and last night, just in the house with the desktop computer using CS6. So sometimes it's an extra work, but I think the end result is worth it. Now, is this corner pattern perfect? And does the side patterns match perfectly? No, they don't. But if you quilt this, no one will ever notice the imperfections in a small area. They won't ever notice it. So I tell people, don't tell anybody. You know where the things are, but no one else will ever know where they are. They won't even notice it. So that's what I did with that. So that's the first part of this video. And just to give you a little bit of an example before I quit, here I have that single repeat right here. Well, I can put this over here, okay? And notice that it's a little bit, it's different because I flipped it horizontally. Now, then I flipped it vertically. So you look, this is exactly like that part right there. See? If you just look at it very closely, it's like that part. Okay? Then I took this and I rubber stamped it. Now I have a copy. Actually, I can copy it. So I want something that will look like this part now. See, this is a replica of that, which is the same as this part. Notice how this curl is here. Okay? Notice how that curl is there. The circles are there like that, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees and see if I have what I want. Okay, so now does this, here's the berries or whatever those are, they're there like that, and I have this. I can bring it so that it is, and I put this in the boundary that outlined that area of the quilt. So I looked at this and I got it to where it was all going to fit together pretty well. But then I said, okay, I've got to do something here with this. Let's see, do I need to change? No, okay. Notice that this is like that. Let's see if that's what I really want. Yes. These curves are towards the outside of the border all the way around. So I want it like this. But then I had to get it into position so that I could connect it. So what I did was brought it like this, then I connected it with a curve here. So I can draw, let's see, I want to draw an arc. Turn on my end snap, see if I can get this to work there. Then go something like this, and over to connect it to there. Okay, so now I connected that. But then I have a problem. I have to go and set my sew order. So I went and now notice this is going the wrong direction, so click on that, then click on it again, make it 0. Click on this, make it 1, this is going in the wrong direction. Click there to change it. Click there to make it 2. Now it is going to stitch out in the correct order. And if I wanted to, I could do a virtual stitch out on this and just let it test it. So that's how I did this corner. Then I manipulated it to work over here. So if I select all this, if I combine patterns, whoops, it didn't do it. I have trouble with Creative Studio 7 sometimes not combining my patterns. Okay, I did it that time. Now I can take this and I can copy it. I can paste it. Okay, I'll paste it right here. And then I'm going to select it. I'm going to horizontally flip it. Now you can see I have my right border pattern, the corner, the border corner. So that's how I did all of that.